about that? Of my students, have you ever seen me question any of my students say, hey, what did you make? What did you do this week? And then critique it. I've never done that. I have never done that. And any mentor that does that is setting them up for failure. Because what you're doing is you're creating this ladder that they're going to feel like they got to climb higher. The next rung's got to be better. And if it doesn't happen, if they don't do well, at least better than the last month, and they could still be profitable this month versus last month. But if they didn't do better than last month, how is that student going to feel about themselves? Well, my teacher's not going to think I did well enough, or they're not going to like my post, or they're going to think that I'm not doing enough, or other people will say, oh, look, you didn't do something right that month. But again, that's the problem with this industry. You're competing against yourself. See, you're allowing all this outside bullshit to influence you. Now, I guess in a lot of ways I am an influencer, but I'm trying to influence the best way I can, calling bullshit when I see it. But majority of the time, I'm telling you how you should be thinking and avoiding all the dumb shit, focusing on what matters most, avoiding the things that's going to be a pitfall for you, and just sticking true to the reasons why you're here. You're here to make fucking money. You know what? You can come here and have religious views about money and say, well, the root of all evil is money. No, it's not. It's the love of money. The love of money. I don't love money. I don't love money. I love doing what I do. I'm passionate. You all know that. I'm still fucking talking to you. The bottom line is this. You are here because you want to make money. You want more money in your bank account than you have right now and when you had last year and any year in your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not greed. That's not greed. That's fruitful. Okay? That's fruitful. When we were created, the first instructions were given, be fruitful and multiply. That wasn't just procreation. That means bring forth fruit. In everything, be fruitful. You judge a tree by what? Its fruits. So you're not here to look pretty. You're not here to be adored by other people. I'm not here to have that. I'm here bearing fruit. And for some of you, it's bitter, it's sour. You don't like the way it tastes. Other people will say it doesn't taste good. Don't eat it. And the people that have worked hard to reach out and grab it and take it, they know it's sweet. They pay their bills with it. They buy cars with it. They're getting homes with it. They quit their jobs with it. They're building wealth with it. Okay, so you're not going to have anybody tell you if you've tasted it now. No one's going to convince you that you've wasted your time. Who's going to tell you that? Nobody. You're not going to give them the time of day. So you have to do everything in this industry with removing and pruning all these bad things that are going to suck your attention and draw your passion away from being just principle oriented, result driven, and then consistency will be the derivative of that. That's what's going to come from doing those things. But you can't expect it to happen right away. And that's unfortunate, but that's the truth. And I don't hide from it. I don't sugarcoat it. You have to earn it. And there's no shortcut to it. There's no get to the point ICT. The point has already been made. The process is what you have to get to. Get to the process. I already went to the point. You get to the process and stick to it because the results will yield themselves to you. But if you're lazy, if you have Olympic size expectations and you haven't been trading for several years consistently, that's a pipe dream. That is absolute fantasy. And it's guaranteed to be disappointing if you're holding that to, I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove my friends and family wrong. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to make $300,000 my first year trading, and I'm going to do it with a $500 account. No, you're not. I'm telling you, as your mentor, you are not doing that. So don't even try to set yourself up for it. What's wrong with, I'm going to try to make 1 to 2% a week? That's my initial goal. I'm going to build up from that. But let's just see if I can hit that. How do I do pushing myself into a disciplinary approach to trading, just that and stopping? Can you do it? Because I'm going to tell you something. I put my private mentorship group through that several times each year. And it was surprising to see how they couldn't do it. Some of them could, but the majority of them couldn't do it. They wanted to do something else. It wasn't engaging enough. Really? What if you have a $500,000 account and you're doing 2% a week with that? Who's not impressed by that? I mean, I have money. That's still good money to me. But you all want some things to be superhuman, like out of the stratosphere type results. Like that stuff is attainable easily. It's not. It's not for someone that's new. So why would you believe anybody that says they can do it? I don't tell you you can do it. I couldn't do it in my first 6 years. I had to flounder around, blew lots of accounts, and nobody sat down with me and told you what I'm telling you. And I wish they would have. It would have been so much better for me psychologically to just hear someone tell me, you're doing it wrong. Stop doing it that way and do it this way. Even though it doesn't feel like it's productive and it's not sexy, it's not, the fast track to riches. I would have welcomed to hear that. Like I would have been very appreciative to hear that. A message like this, I would have loved to heard it. But times are different now. Social media has changed everybody's perception of reality, truth, what matters most. And if you're not doing this to improve yourself, your family, your well-being, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because if you're doing it for any other reasons than those three, you're doing it for reasons that's about image, which means you're going to be emotionally charged about every trade you take, which is rule number one. You can't be emotionally attached to the trades. You can't have a feeling of failure if it doesn't work for you. That transaction wasn't profitable. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just an unprofitable trade. That's not failure. That just means that transaction failed to yield you a profit. That's it. That's not your failure. That's not your inability to be profitable beyond that trade. It doesn't mean that. But that's what most of you are doing to yourself. You're telling yourself that this is what this means. This is the line in the sand. This means I can't be profitable. I have to have consistently winning trades. I'm not giving myself permission to have a losing trade or a losing week or a losing month. So I'm going to ask you the question again. If you lost 10%, 15% drawdown in 1 month, do you give yourself permission to have that? Chances are you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's something I should be doing. No profitable trader or student of smart money concepts would have something like that. When I have students that have gone through my mentorship, and some of them have had months like that, and they still close the year out up 300, 400% for the year. To me, that's healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing. But some of you would look at that and say, look at this. This person's failing. I couldn't do that. I couldn't stomach that. Well, if you can't lose money, then you won't be a profitable trader, because Profitable traders are professional losers. We manage risk, we manage losing, and we turn every trade that starts as a losing trade into winning trades over time. That's a consistently profitable trader. And think about it, because it's the truth. You got to get past the spread and the commission costs before you do anything. Before that market moves in your favor, you got to come over those costs first. So everybody opens a trade up in a losing position immediately. How you close that trade defines your ability to be profitable or not for that one transaction. But that one transaction, profitable or not profitable, does not make or break your career. But your perception as a new student or someone that's becoming, you know, I guess, interest in the market, you're just now dabbling in it. You think that that is the beginning of the end. Well, that's true if you lose your mind and you go bonkers and you start over trading, feeling like you got to get it back right away. Oh, I'm going to lose my funded account. I got to get this back right away. Why? Who said you have to get it back right now? Who said that? You did. Why? Because social media's influence over you. Some joker on the internet who probably has never proven themselves profitable, being able to call a market before it happens, trade it, execute it, manage it, none of it. They sit around, they talk crap all the time and bring nothing to the table of usefulness. You've allowed them to set the mindset for you. Why are you so easily influenced by these people? Why are you letting other people give you these problematic viewpoints? Stop that. Remove all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with having a mind that's hive-like, okay, a hive-like mindset. When you're around successful people that are doing successful things and are trying to do things with a process that's similar, that's not a cult. That's a hive mentality. And hive mentality is what you see ultra successful people join. Think about it. Back in the 80s, there was these clubs, these social clubs, Club Med. Okay. I'm joining this club, and you had to be accepted into it. That was a social status. Okay. Well, successful people only want successful people around them. They don't tolerate poorly lived lives around them because they're going to be a drain. Now, that's not something that sounds like arrogance. It's not arrogance. Okay. Success breeds success. And I've said this before in some of my other lectures. The best thing in my life was when I cut dead weight out of my friendships and got rid of toxic relationships. But you want to hold on to these abusive relationships because you feel like I'll be a terrible person. If I cut this relationship off, if I stop hanging with these people, if I stop going out on the weekends and wasting my fucking money that I worked my ass off for to buy drinks that are overpriced, to be around people I can't fucking stand, dress up, spend money on clothes to impress people you don't even fucking like.